Shalom, welcome to 2 Minutes of Torah. This show is entitled Yevamot Daf Yomi Amid Aleph. Gemara has a phrase which is quoted throughout Shas. When two rabbis have an argument and one disagrees with the other one, so besides, of course, the substantive part of the argument, he tries to show where the other side is wrong. Sometimes he throws out a line, a harsh line, and he says, I believe, Kinayim v'shachev Rav, that I think he was sleeping when he made this statement. I think it's really wrong. It just wasn't thought through properly. It sounds harsh, and it is harsh. Rabbis in the middle of the argument are so convinced of their point and trying to show the other side's wrong, so sometimes we'll attack in such a manner. But it's very, very important to differentiate this kind of criticism and Sinat Chinam and the text that sometimes, unfortunately, tragically, we've seen over the years and that we see today here, and it's right now. Just finished a Sar B'Tevet. It's beginning January 2015, and a few months of elections. To see the way some people criticize others in a very public and harsh manner, that has nothing to do with these rabbis. The rabbis here have a specific, localized point and criticism of the other rabbi, and let's say, listen, I think this point was said without thinking it through properly. Nikudah, like we learned previously, Hillel, Shammai, they had arguments, and still they worked with each other, and they even guided each other in terms of certain prohibitions of who one could marry, who one could not marry, and each one worked with the other one according to his or her, according to his shita. And if there was a woman that, according to Hillel, Shammai couldn't marry, he said, oh, this woman you cannot marry, according to your shita. That, of course, is mutual respect, even as one argues with the idea of the other one. What's going on today, tragically, where publicly people are putting each other down, groups down, calling another yeshiva, chas v'shalom, it's talking about it in a negative kind of way, or talking about a leader, a rabbi of other yeshiva, other movements, talking in such harsh manners that, of course, I don't think has anything to do with our Gemara. That's just bordering, or maybe actually is, Chilul Hashem. And it's one thing that if it was meant just a public, a private kind of discussion, I disagree with your ideas, I think there's wrong with what you're saying, it's one thing. A public kind of discussion where rabbis talking to other rabbis this way and everyone sees it's around the world, that to me, I don't think the rabbis ever had that in mind. To me, a beautiful, beautiful example of a true machlok l'shem shamayim, where rabbis have arguments, but it's always with respect and love. It is one example that I would give is Shivat Har Etzion, Gush Etzion, where Rav Lichtenstein, Rav Amital Zatzal, Rav Meidan, the various Rosh Yeshivas, were co-Rosh Yeshivas over the years together, different views on many different topics. And they would even have arguments in the yeshiva itself, especially regarding politics and the peace process, to give up land, not to give up land, harsh arguments. And still, yeah, they were critical of each other, it's true. And Rav Meidan and others thought that Rav Amital, Rav Lichtenstein's approach to dealing with Eretz Yisrael and Shtachim was off. But they argued, but it was always in a respectful way. So it's crucial that we know what is l'shem machlokas l'shem shamayim, a localized point like we see in our Gemara, where one rabbi said, I think you really weren't precise in this point, I think you're sleeping when you said it. That, of course, is a far, far cry from an attack on a person in a public way, in an angry way, in the most severe way. The two really should be separated. Mitzvah Hashem, we should just continue to only have machlokas l'shem shamayim. Shalom.